Good morning. Hello. How are you? I'm all natural. Just got out of bed. Didn't even brush my teeth yet. Drinking coffee because I don't brush my teeth after I drink coffee if I can. Because I don't know. It is Thursday. Friday. The 31st of August. Is this recording? Yeah. And I came on because I had a funny piece to tell you about the date. What happened? So we're at the restaurant, and I was sitting with my first date. Anytime I'm out with a guy that I know for a while, his back is always my back is always to the door because I know that I can, he's taking care of me. First date, if possible, my back, his back is to the door because in case I need to like make an exit, I'm looking at everything. It's just a little thing. That's not always possible wherever you go, but in this particular case, I sat myself at the end of the bar, like where I could look and see him coming in. And then when he sat in front next to me, so his back had to be to the door in order for him to talk to me. So anyway, we're sitting there, we're talking, and all of a sudden, I look up and I say, "Oh shit, my son is here." Yeah, Mr. Man, because he goes to church on Wednesdays. Wednesdays faithfully, but Sundays, hey, there he is. I'm talking about him. I'm making a video. So he comes in and walks over. Want to walk through the video so they can see how you walk in? No, no. But you'll take my pink phone. Where's the hell phone? Oh, you texting? What are you doing? Comes in, shakes. I introduced him on my phone so this is Paul. He shakes his hand. He's like, "Doing okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, nice to meet you," and leave. I'm like, oh my god, I was like proud and embarrassed at the same time. But he was so cool with it. He was like, I like that. He said there's not many kids these days that would do that. He's taking care of mom. He said, your mom is cool and that everything is all right. So that was really funny. I mean, you had to be there. It was so spontaneous and so funny because I had a feeling he was going to do it, but I didn't. After it got to a certain point in time, a certain time, I didn't think so. He goes to church from 7:30 to 10:30 or something like that on Wednesday. So he had to come in and make his presence known, which I thought was adorable. All right, second thing, was the reason for this video, is that somebody asked me some tips on online dating. And I know that online dating is scary for a lot of people. I know it's been around for a while. I've been dating online probably 10 years. I don't think that I have met anyone who I've dated, maybe one person in the street, other than online. And it started out because I moved from New York City to Orange County. And in New York City, there's no shortage of meeting men just walking down the street, just going anywhere. You meet men everywhere. So, even yesterday, I wasn't in the city, but I was down closer to the city, about 2 hours or so. Actually, it took me 2 hours to get there to New Rochelle, which is in Westchester. And I'm in the nursing home, and it's just brothers just like, hi, hey, hollering at me. And I don't, it's not like that up here. Um, it's very family oriented. So most of the men are married. Like it's just a very family. Especially when I first moved up here, because when I first moved up here was shortly after 9/11, and there was a mass exodus out from New York up to this area because it was still semi-commutable for some people, the lower part, and it was a better quality of life. The houses were cheaper at the time, and even if they weren't cheaper, you get a lot of land. Like I have an acre and change. I would never in the city hardly get an acre and change anywhere. Um, Trees, the quiet neighborhood. You can still some places like here I can still leave my door open, unlocked rather, and not worry about anything. And so in that I was busy. I was working on Wall Street. I was commuting back and forth. I didn't have time to look for somebody to date, so I put myself on a couple of dating websites, and I met a few people. I mean, some people I met, and I have a friend of mine who's on my Facebook. I met him on Black Planet, which was one of the first sites that I was on. And I did date a couple of people from Black Planet, but I met there's two gentlemen on Black Planet that I met, and I never dated them. We played, flirting, and then it just never really went anywhere. But I've been friends with them, followed their lives, know their kids, talked to them on the phone for 10 years now, and we've never met in person. So you have to kind of look at things as though this is not a hunt, because if you meet somebody online and you never take it offline, you just kind of know that there's a funny haha thing with them, or you have a connection, but maybe he's too far away, or he's just not what you're looking for. You still might end up with a friend. And in cases, there was a case where somebody that I knew needed a job, and he lived out of state, and I was able to get that person an interview through him. So another friend, I have another guy that I know. I don't talk to him as often, but he's a photographer down in Atlanta, and I know if I wanted pictures taken or something, it's just like I have this like core of friends that I know that they've known me. They're on my Facebook. We've known each other we went from Black Planet to Yahoo 360. First was Yahoo Groups, and then to Yahoo 360, and then now to Facebook. So it's been a progression. So anyway, um, don't be afraid to converse with somebody. Now, I'm an old hand at this. I'm not saying that I'm immune to anything bad happening, but there's some things. The likelihood of bad things happening is kind of lessening because it's becoming more popular. So there's more mainstream people on these type of sites instead of the psychos. The psychos who kind of realize they're, you know, you can't, they're still out there, but they're more underground. They're not really on the more prevalent sites. They're still on Craigslist. They're on low key sites and fetish and specialty sites. Not to say that there's not assholes on these regular sites. I'm not saying that. The more someone shares on their profile, the more likely I am to talk to them. If they have, their age, their date of, like their age, their hair color, and no description, or no picture, I'm definitely not even going to give them the time of day. The more someone expresses about themselves, read it. I used to be a stickler for typos, but now that I'm using an iPad, I have typos all the time. So I don't really get crazy about that. Grammar, if I see a lot of people using, somebody using a lot of the letter U instead of you, and you are, and that kind of stuff, like text slang, it depends. Their pictures. If their pictures are blurry, if the pictures are with three other women, talking about these are my coworkers, that's not a picture you put up for if you're interested in meeting somebody. There's nothing wrong with having a picture with your coworkers, but that's not the picture you use. You find somebody to take a picture with your webcam. But and this one guy, here's me and my coworker in Cancun. Here's me and my coworker, another coworker in Brazil. Nothing. Because I don't, no, no. And they're all female and they're all blonde, or like, little young girls, little hippies. Talk to them on the phone. People get this thing where they start emailing back and forth. People can be anybody they want to be. You cannot hear poor grandma. You can't hear kids in the background. You can't hear them whispering because they're not supposed to be on the phone. You can't hear any of that on the email. You can't. So talk to them on the phone as soon as possible. We all have phones. Who cares if somebody has your phone number? It's not like they have your house number. Give them your cell phone number. Talk to them on the phone. And talk to them for a couple of times. I mean, talk to them over, as long as it makes you comfortable. Like I said, I'm a person that I have had a situation where I was talking to somebody on the phone for like almost a month, and it was happening to me twice. Once the person lived out of state, and they were a truck driver, and so we would talk on the phone, and he didn't get his route didn't bring him up this way for like almost 6 weeks, and we would webcam and email and talk on the phone, and it was so great. And I saw him in person, and it just was not good. First of all, he had a handicap, which was okay, but you need to tell somebody that. I mean, it's not that, and I wasn't not with him, didn't want to be with him because of that. It was just the fact that he didn't tell me that after all that time. And I understand he was afraid, but I told him a lot of stuff about myself. And the spark just wasn't there. Another guy, same thing. Oh my God, he was basically like we were in love over the phone. We met in person, and he was gorgeous, and he thought I was gorgeous, but we were just kind of like, oh, church hug. So, which leads me to when do you meet in person? Well, that's up to you. I would be first of all cautious and listen to your inner voice. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not saying, like again, I'm not disclaiming. I'm not saying that I know everything, and I'm not saying that I haven't been on horrible dates. I have, but I usually make the best of them, and I usually make my dates either for drinks or for lunch, and occasionally for breakfast. Because drinks, I can always say I gotta run. I don't want to drink too much. I can't drive and drink. Brunch, self-explanatory. If the date goes well, you got the whole rest of the afternoon. It's nice. It's usually on Sunday or Saturday. You can go for a walk. You can go shopping. You can go to the mall. There's things that you can do. You can still go to the movies. And you can. I've been on dates where brunch led to dinner, which led to drinks. It was an all-day event. Um, and breakfast is nice too because breakfast you can always, if it's not, you always want to give yourself an out, but you always want to give yourself room for if it works out okay. Now the drinks thing is nice because then you can make plans to see each other again the next day or the day after. But breakfast and brunch are usually better, or lunch. But I like to do brunch on the weekends because just lots of times up here there's nature walks, there's fun things to do. Talk to when I'm going back to talk to them on the phone. Talk to them on the phone. Talk to them on the phone and tell them, let them talk, but tell them about yourself. What is wrong with you? All right, there's going to be a part two.